The benefits of co-teaching for students is that the content teacher or the homeroom teacher provides content expertise, while the EL teacher provides language expertise and cultural understanding. The main idea and key details in a non-fiction text. What's a non-fiction text? Think and stop for 5 seconds. Through the content, you learn language, but you need language to learn content. So really, you can't separate them enough. You can't separate them. You have to put them together. The benefit for co-teaching for teachers is that there are more teachers in the room to support all kids. So the EL teacher is not just with the EL students, and the content teacher is not just with the non-ELs. It's everyone, all hands on deck helping kids. They can really target the language, but they can also really target the content at the same time. If you don't have another teacher in the classroom, you can use students to help students understand each other. So instead of saying the onus has to be on you to help kids understand, facilitate interaction so that students can talk to each other about the content so they can figure out what it means. Our job is to really teach kids to collaborate with each other. It's really important for us to arrange our classes in a way, in our desks, our furniture in a way that students are facing each other, because the learning really happens when students are constructing meaning together instead of facing us only. There's time for that, but I think as much as possible, have kids turn together in small groups to construct, because they'll be doing that in the future. And the second thing is you could use technology to duplicate your efforts. So technology is my co-teacher when you don't have a co-teacher, and technology is an amplifier of what kids can do. To support English learners and non-English learners at the same time, you have to realize that they aren't born with academic language. So we have to make it explicit for them. It's really invisible. The language of science, the language of history, even the language of art, the language of design, they each have their own language. And so we have to show them, we have to pull away the curtains and show, hey, this is how language is structured. This is what the word hypothesis means. This is what the word critique means. This is the things we have to do. Which of these words do you need me to help you understand first? There's tropical, temperature, drought. Fertile. Let's look at the definition. Describes soil filled with plenty of plants and nutrients.
Okay.
How would you put that in your own words?
Nutrients in soil.
Nutrients in soil. You can say that. Nutrients is really like vitamins for the soil. To engage beginning English learners, you have to connect with one of the ways is to connect the content to something they already know. If you're doing about photosynthesis, it's about plants. So you would ask them about, show me the plants that are native to your country. And we can talk about that. And so they have something that's connected already. Is China temperate?
China. Why you
You're making a connection?
It's pretty warmer. It's hard.
Because China can get cold.
You can say Canada.
Parts. Can you write an area that's not too cold and not too hot? So they're less stressed, they're not feeling threatened, or they're just like, well, I don't know what to do. Oh, okay, I know about plants in Asia. So their experiences and their background is used as a tool to help them understand the content. And another thing is never subtract things from them, meaning if they don't say, this is an English only class. You say this is a Chinese language in class, meaning you can use any language you want. They need time to help you process, to help you communicate. Please feel free to write it in your home. Like that's how my student did it. She didn't know the word additionally or the word aid. She Google translated the word aid and she looked at it in Korean and she understood it. And she wrote the word aid here. When working with students as much as possible, have their desk cleared, tables, things that you don't need, like laptops or water bottles, clear them off because they can be physical obstructions to kids. They kind of like put up a little barrier to kids talking. And the last thing I recommend is, as much as possible, like come next to them and like go down a little bit and just sit next to them and just talk to them about whatever you're doing, so that it doesn't draw much attention to them, instead of like you standing in the front of the room and talking to them across the room. So let's look at this. If the equator is highlighted right here, how can we describe the word equator in our own words?
Through the middle of the land.
Is there a line, a physical line on the earth?
No.
So it's an
Imaginary.
imaginary line.
Through the earth.
Where in the earth?
In the
Yeah,
middle.
okay, so it's an imaginary line. It's a part of the earth that's in the middle. I remember feeling like, I'm being yelled at. I'm being yelled at because I'm being reprimanded from across the room. Instead, come sit next to the student and say, hey, I noticed you were doing this. And just come down closer to that level. It's a really great way of doing it. Building relationship with kids.
Thank you very much.